Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. It's a brand new week. Today I'm going to be doing pack 11 of the Agora Models release and build the LaFerrari. Small box this one, and as if by magic, look what's appeared. This is pretty much the entire rear end of the vehicle that we built in previous packs. As you can see, we've got the engine in here, lots of pipes. It's all been mounted on this frame. And in the last pack, if you remember, we started on the back end of the LaFerrari. Let me just show you that a bit better there. So we're going to be building onto this today, and that's what's happening in pack 11. Now, if you do want to get this for yourself, I have put a link in the video description there. There's also a QR code on the screen. I've got a funny feeling this is going to be quite a bit to do, because normally small box means lots of details. We'll have to see. Without further ado, let's get cracking. So we're going to start in stage 81, which is the mobile wing here. Look at this. Let's get this open. But the first thing I want to do before we touch any of that is on this section here that we had, we've got a little area here where we've got the Ferrari emblem, which came, I believe, in stage 79, and that looks just like this. Get that open. And quite simply, all I want to do is push this into place on here. And it does push in. You're not going to need to glue that or anything like that. In the cavity down the bottom in this pack, we've got a rear fog light. Again, this is just a push in. So line it up and push that all the way in. And wasn't that a hyper quick stage? Because even though we have done those two bits there, and even though we've got these two bits here, we're going to be doing these in the next stage. But in stage 82, as you can see here, some tiny details we've got. And this is what we're actually starting with first. So basically, if I bring this area over here, you see where I'm putting my fingers here, we've got two gaps. Well, we're going to be putting a grill into those gaps, and that grill looks just like this. And basically, it's going to be fitting into the recess just there, probably best on the top camera. And then we do want to hold it into place, so I have got this plastic bracket, which is going to go over the top to hold that in. Perfect. Now that's going to be held in with size H screws. Very long ones these are, but let's get these in. Now we need 3 of these. That's the third one in there. And if I just show you from this side what that's looking like now, that looks pretty impressive actually. Looks like that. Okay. Into these cavities at the left and right, I've got these reflectors to put in. It's just a case of taking the left and right reflector and pushing them into the cavity here. And they really do take some pushing to get them nice and flush in there. Do the one on this side as well. Perfect. And when they're in, they should be fitting flush in there, just like that. And that is all there is to do in that stage. In stage 83, I've got some tail details again here, which means I am going to need to bring over this section again. I'm looking for the right stamped tail light bracket, which looks like this. It is stamped with an R. Now this is going to be going into the 2 holes that we can see just at the top there. It is going to be held in with size H screws again. And it does take 2 of these screws. As you can see just here, we've got another open section for a grill. This time the grill looks like that. So I'm going to sit that into the body there. And then I've got this bracket, which is going to go over the top. That will hold that in. Once again, 2 H screws to keep that into place. And there we go. That's what that looks like when that's in. And if we've done something on one side, you can bet we're going to be doing it exactly the same on the other side to keep this nice and symmetrical. So again, 2 H screws in here. And then just the grill on this side as well. And there you go. That's the second one in as well. And with those in position, that's all there is to do in that stage. We do have left over these items here. I am keeping these to one side. In stage 84, as you can see here, we've got some electrics. And in those electrics, are the rear lights. So first thing I always do with these wires is I untangle them and just get them nice and straight. Now they have got one plug and I just pull them hard but not pulling them at the plug end. Believe me, it's easier working with straight wires than wires that are curved like a pig's tail. Perfect. So the way these go is we've got the inner light reflector here and we've got the outer light here. Now the best way to probably do this is to actually put the inner light reflector on the lens first. Now they're only designed to fit one way round when we put this, otherwise these points here don't go down the channels here, but this is the way that we're going to be putting them in. And they go in just like that. Push that all the way down, so it looks like that from that side, that from that side, and then these are going to go into the holes just here. It's just a clip in. Again, line them up the way that we need them to be and push them into position. Now you do want to make sure that each point comes out of the back here, each lug. So as you can see, it's in like that. If I turn it over, you can see that all of those lugs are through on the other side there. I'm going to do the same on the other side. So that's that one down as well. And once again, line up the lugs and push them into place, just like that. So there we go, that's that one in as well. That's what they both look like. Just a case of taking the lights then. I'm following the instructions by putting the yellow one in this side here, and it's just a case of pushing them all the way in, and then I'm taking the grey and red one and putting that in this side here. And I can just leave that like that because that's all there is to do in that stage. We are moving around a little bit here. Obviously, we've still got these parts we worked on at the start of this pack, but we are now going to be working on the exhaust tailpipes. Well, that's what I've got here. And it does look like we are going to be working on these as well. And basically, we've got the right and left size mufflers, these are kind of, and central ones as well. And then I've got these two little arms here. Bring over the engine. I'm going to be putting the right exhaust pipe like this over here. There is a channel for this to fit in. So once I've got this on, as you can see, that goes in like that. Then I need a central one looking like this. Again, line that one up. And that goes on like that. Going to do the same on the other side. And that one on just there. That looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Let me just show you on that camera. Excellent. This is going to actually look like that. And that's all there is to do in that stage, which means, again, we're not using these parts here. In stage 86, we've got the active diffusers to do. And this is where we are going to be working on these sections. So let's get these open. So the first thing we need is this red wing bracket that we had in stage 83. I'm now going to be putting this onto this section just here. It actually just goes in like this here. I know I've said this 100 times for this build, but the fact that we get all the screws at the start really does make things a lot easier for you. Once I've done that, I'm going to be taking this bracket here, which come in stage 81. That's going to go in like that. It's held in from this side here with a size P screw. And make sure that goes all the way through there. Now I've also got the linkage to put on here, which is going to go into these points here and here. And once again, size P screws to hold them in. So one in there, and just one in this side here. Okay, the last thing to do, just to keep this complete, is to remember these arms here. We're just going to be threading them onto the ends of these points just here. So one here, just get that pushed in. There are two different kinds of fittings. One's round and one's rectangular. You want the rectangular one, which goes on like that. Do the same on the other side, just like that. Now I can bring over the engine. And the way I want to put this on, look at these brackets just there first. We've got two holes. So this is going to be going on this way. I want to ensure that these rods here go through that section there, so that these two bits here can sit securely in the channel there. And as you can see, where these are, these brackets are in this section just here. So the first thing to do is to secure in this bracket at the back here with D screws. Not the easiest thing to get in. Let's just do the other one. Find it's easier to get it from this direction. There we go, that's in place. And then we want these brackets just here, which came in stage 83. Put one on each side, and they're then going to be holding this into place on each side here. So one there. They're going to be held in with H screws, and one on this side here. And then I'm just going to repeat what I've just done on the other side. So again, a bracket just through this side here, and screw that into place. So let me just demonstrate how this goes. This is going to be able to do that, as you can see. Pretty cool. I'm then going to be taking the back section here, and I'm not threading any wires through. I'm just going to keep them going underneath the car for a minute, because I am going to thread or put this now onto the back of the vehicle. Now the safety clips, which are coming from that diffuser there, these things here, are going to go through the holes that you can probably just see on this back section. So I'm just going to thread them through. This is going to be a little bit fiddly. And there you go. So that's on the back. If I turn it upside down, you can see that those safety clips are through the holes at the bottom there. I need to turn the whole model upside down. I know I should be using my Partwork Upgrades mat. Unfortunately, I'm holding the whole thing with my hands. Now this right diffuser is going to be going into the brackets here and here, but we want to have this tab going through that safety clip that we put in there. So put the safety clip in first, and then put the diffuser down into the brackets there like that. I'm going to hold that in with one of these brackets here, which goes over the top, and then that's going to keep that into place, just like that. And it's held in with some Y screws. There we go, that one's in. We're going to do exactly the same on the other side here. So again, I'm going to be pushing the clip through, putting this on top, and then securing it into place with a bracket here. Now I'm having a look at the wires. They seem to have put the wire underneath this bit of the chassis here. And then what they've done is they've routed it either side of the engine. So I think I'm going to probably do that. Does mean I have to unplug one of the wires from the headlight so I can feed it through this side here, you see. Then I can just plug that back in. Now that is stage complete. That's how that's looking. But the only worry I've got is we haven't actually attached this back end on. Apart from the diffusers down the bottom, which are now locked into place. I don't want to move this because obviously we're on a base and now the bottom parts move as well. We're at a stage where I can't really do much. I might be able to demonstrate actually how this works. So when this gets lifted up, as you can see, they open down the bottom, put them down, they close. Let's put this to one side. In stage 87, I'm going to be making the oil vapor tank. So for that, I'm going to need the tank top here, and I've got a cap to put on. This is what the cap is looking like. We have got a little D-shaped hole, so it can only go in one way on the top, just like that. In a similar fashion, on the side here, the open side, I've got the other side here, which is going to go on here, and it's just pushed in. So now we have a solid tank. Again, I don't need to glue this. That's not going anywhere. Then I want to take this part of the oil vapor recovery tank, and I've got a cap just to put on this side here, like that. I've got a bracket which is going to be going down into that section just there, and it needs to be that way round. And then I'm going to be putting the other side of this over the top here, closing everything together. And there we go. That's that created. Then it's just a case of putting what we first created onto the side. There is 2 different size lugs, so it does dictate what way round it goes. That clips just into the side there. Perfect. I do want to just reduce the amount of seam here, so I have glued the seam here. I'm just going to put a clamp on just to hold that together to let that set. But that's the end of that stage. Oh look, stage 88, we've got pipes. That makes me nervous. This is the HY-Kers inverter. I've got no idea what that is, but I'm going to open all these packs and we're going to find out. So the first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to make this inverter. So I need this box looking like this, and I've got a top to put on first, which is going to clip on like this, and it's just a push down. Then I've got a detail here to put on the side. Again, it's pretty easy to see. It's like Lego, how to put these in, because you've got different size holes, which will mean you can only put it in one way, like that. And then we've got one just on the other side, exactly the same again. Large hole and a small hole, push them together. Perfect. So we've got 3 holes here for this lead here. I want it round this way, and I want to put the 3 holes into this section. What I am going to do is glue these, because I really don't want these falling out. So the longer pipe I'm going to put into the bigger hole here. Excellent. And then in a similar way, I'm going to take the shorter pipes now, brush some glue on the end of them, and then feed these into the 2 pipes just here. One there and one there. 2 pipes, 2 holes, should I say. And then the glue is not only going to stick my fingers, but it's also going to hold those pipes into place. I'm going to be doing the same on this pipe here, which is going to go into the 2 holes down the bottom. Again, I will be using glue. Just on the end here to keep those pipes in place there. So there you go. That's how that's looking. And we do have these 2 brackets left over, but we don't actually use them in this stage. In stage 89, I'm making the left air filter. So I'm going to take a wild running stab in the dark guess that in the last stage, stage 90, we're going to do the right one. I don't know. I haven't looked, so I've got to see. But let's open these up. So what I'm going to do is put the left air filter box and the top section together here. It's just a case of lining them up and pushing them in. Again, they can only go in one way, because I do like this. Let me show you that. Look, see, we've got a large lug and a small lug. So it's impossible for you to put it in the wrong way. And you want that to be flush. If it's not flush, just get your screwdriver in here and just pull out the wall on this side, and then that will go in flush. No problems at all. Once I've done that, all I need to do is, got a D-shaped pattern here again, and it's just a case of pushing this in here. Again, this is a really tight fit, this one. And there we go. That's that air box complete. And I should take a bow in stage 90 because guess what? We're doing the other side. But this is the last packet of this pack. So there was a lot to do, but it was all on the back end. And thinking about it, this is the penultimate pack as well. So the next pack we get, our LaFerrari, is going to be complete. And in a similar way, I'm just going to be putting this pipe in the end. And that means we've now done 2 of these air filter systems, and that's all there is to do in that pack. I did get a bit nervous in that pack because, as you can see, we've done this back end, which looks really good, but I'm gently putting that down. This back end isn't actually screwed onto anything. The only thing keeping this back end on is those safety clips that come from this wing diffuser here, which is crazy, isn't it? So I really don't want to knock that. But that is the end of pack 11. Now, the total recording time, I'm going to keep telling you this now, just so you get an idea of how long it's taken me to do this, because I am aware at the edited version, it's cut down a lot, was 1 hour, 10 minutes. That wasn't too bad, was it? Now, if you want to get this for yourself, it's available from Agora Models. The link's in the video description. There's also a QR code on the screen, but I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.